Well, howdy, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be making something super simple that I have made in the past and have actually made money on. So let me go grab them. And here they are. Scrap wood, 2x4 pumpkins. These are super simple to make. And like I said, I've sold a few in the past, so let's get into it. Okay, so the cuts are simple. It's just a 7-inch board and a 7-inch board, a 9-inch board, a 9-inch board, and then a 10-inch board. That's it. So just 2 7s, 2 9s, 1 10. So what I love about this project is it just takes one board and you can make 2 or 3 out of just one 2x4. Feel free to measure it however you want depending on the size of the pumpkin you want. So I'm just going to mark out 2 7s, 2 9s, and 1 10. Again, you can measure it however you want to depending on the size of the pumpkin. Obviously, if you have a miter saw fence ruler, this will make the cutting a lot easier. Mine doesn't go all the way up to 10 inches, so I had to use the tape measure. Now it's time for just good old sanding. Just make sure any fur or anything like that has been sanded off and make it nice and smooth. Okay, so everything has been cut, everything has been sanded. Now it's time for assembly. Okay, so there's multiple ways you can actually put this together. So what you could do is what I used to do was I would just glue all of them and then clamp them. You could do it that way. A faster way is if you have screws and stuff, just to individually screw it through until you reach the last one, and then this last one you're going to have to glue, because that way you don't have any screws popping out of the top. And then for the stem, we'll get to that later. So I'm just going to glue it and clamp it like I normally, what I used to do. So all you're going to do is just make sure so it's all even. 1 inch should be on the side, 1 inch should be on the side, 1 inch should be here, 1 inch should be here. And you could always just take a pen, because you're going to be painting over it anyway. Or if you want to, just sand it off later, and then if you're going to stain it. And then here it should just be a 1/2 inch. Depending on the way that you cut it, it was supposed to be 1 inch off, but for some reason it cut a little bit less. So okay, so we're just gonna generously add some glue. You can mush it in with your finger or whatever you want to do. And then you're just gonna see where your lines were. You're just gonna line it up with that. Squish it down so you kind of get a stays, and then you just do the rest. So the clamping can be a pain just because the glue makes all the boards nice and slippery. As you can see, they're moving, so just you can put something heavy on it maybe just to keep them all down and flat, and then just make sure to wipe up any squeeze out. Okay, so for the stem, you could either buy a 2x2, which I didn't think I actually had a scrap piece of this, but I do, so that works, or you can take the 2x4 to the table saw and rip it down to a 2x2. Either one, this would be easier, but you do have to buy an extra piece of wood. So for the stem, we're just going to move the miter saw to whatever sharpness you want. I like to do it around 30 degrees, depending on how sharp you want the stem to be. Go ahead and cut it at that angle. After you do that, we're going to put the miter saw back at 0. That way we can get a nice flat end on the other side. And then I like to do it around 2-inch stem. That way it's not too long, but it's not too short either, but you can go whatever size you want. And then just sand it. Just be careful because it is a small piece. Well, while we're waiting for the glue to dry, we can go ahead and stain the stem. I'm using the stain and polyurethane Kona. I've used this ever since I started woodworking, and I've loved it. So I'm going to be using this for the stem, and we'll go ahead and do that. That way this can be drying while that's finishing, and that way we can attach it to it. Okay, so there's the stem. Pretty simple. Okay, so it's been about an hour and 15 minutes, and so we'll move on to the next step. And the next step is just to sand. You want to get all the squeeze out stains off of the pumpkin and make it nice and smooth. Okay, so it's not dry enough yet to completely get all the glue out of the corners. We'll wait until that dries, but it is definitely dry enough to attach the stem. Okay, so I might suggest painting it whatever color you wanted to first, but for the sake of the length of this video, I'm just going to go ahead and attach the stem. So you just take the stem. There it is. So you can glue it and brad nail it, or you could clamp it. It's going to be a little bit hard at being at an angle. So, here it is. It's all done. And like I said, you might want to paint it or stain it first before you put the stem on there, unless you're really good at not getting the paint on here, or if you want to put painter's tape around it, or but there's so many things you can do with them. They're so easy to make. It's just one 2x4, and you could probably make 2 or 3 out of them, out of one 2x4, so you're looking at $4 for 2 or 3 of them. And then if you decide to buy the 2x2, obviously, I don't know how much those are right now, but anyway, but there's so many things you could do with it. You can make it a bigger pumpkin, you can make it a smaller pumpkin, you could paint it all different colors, you could leave it raw, and just put like a clear or something over it. You could do it orange, you could do it white. I mean, there's so many colors that you could do. Just be creative with it and have fun. I just wanted to talk to y'all about the soap pedestal video, how it blew my mind. There's so many people interested in woodworking. I mean, it's awesome. Speaking of the soap pedestals, type 1 in the comments if you've made one. Type 2 in the comments if you've actually sold one. Also in the comments, leave some things that you like to make. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like, subscribe. I'll catch you guys in the next video.